Hi everybody, welcome to class today. I'm Alex from E2 Language. Thank you for joining me for this Writing Task 2 session. If you're here on Zoom with me, just say hello in the chat box so I can see you. And just check the sound is okay. If you're on YouTube, hello, I'll check on you guys later. Beautiful. Hi Namita, Meet, Usha, Srividya, nice to see you. Did I just see Krithika? Hello, I hear that there's some good news. I got the right one. Namrata, oh, is that also good news there? God, the chat box is going so quickly. I'll try and report. I do definitely have good news from Jyoti and Florence, who achieved their scores this week. And hopefully the rest of you really soon. Hi, everybody, welcome along. All right, and if you're here for the first time, just follow along in the chat box. Let me just have a look at Krithika. Wow, 7.5 in writing, you legend, well done. So Krithika's scores, if you can't see, I hope it's okay if I read them out. Listening 8.5, reading 8, writing and speaking 7.5. That is so great. Congratulations to you. That was a sort of couple of weeks of hard work and some excellent results there. Beautiful job, well done. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, I'm going to just get started because we have a lot to do. Please feel free to keep chatting in the chat box there. And Krithika, I know that you passed that on to Graham, so we'll be in touch with you again, I'm sure. That's awesome news. So for everybody else, that should be inspiration. Lots of success stories lately, so it is possible to get more than 6.5 in writing. Don't panic. And today we're going to work on doing just that. So in this session, please use the chat box to participate and communicate. And if you want one-on-one help, it's a little bit difficult to do in the chat box here. Oh, thanks, Krithika. I'm just going to copy and paste that into my own document. Sorry, everyone. Good to get these stories. All right. Yeah, during this class, I will try to give a little feedback as always. But if you want more help, of course, you can submit your work for feedback. We have this beautiful new feedback system, which is going to tell you absolutely everything you need to know about your scores and about how to improve every element of your writing. Also, you can take a one-on-one tutorial with one of our teachers, but let's go. This is a 1-hour class. We're going to look at a Writing Task 2 topic, work on vocab. Today we're focusing on articles for grammar. I'm going to help you write the intro and a body one. We'll review that vocab, Q&A at the end, 1 hour. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Krithika, send to everybody. That would be great. So Krithika's going to share her results and story in the chat box. So I'd recommend just grab it, paste it into a document so that you can follow any advice. And let's go. Today's topic is all about this. Okay, and as always, we're going to just start by discussing the matter and generate ideas. So we're not going to go straight into writing today. So firstly, what do you see? What's this? Very good. Plastic, waste, garbage, landfill, bags. Yes, so lots of plastic here. Okay, tell me about the problem. So this is mostly single-use plastic. So you use it once, you throw it away. What problems can that create? Be specific. All right, pollution. How does that create pollution? Very good. It will stay for a long time. Not recyclable in some cases. Yes, not biodegradable. Very good. Marine pollution. Very nice. Great. Danger for marine life, danger for animals, damages the soil. That's a good point too. Okay. Now, tell me about your country. Are plastic bags banned, forbidden in your country? So I'm in Australia. In the supermarket, They did ban them, but they replaced them with some other plastic bags and some canvas bags, but you have to pay now. Okay, not banned in India. Anything goes in your country, someone said. Okay, in some parts, Anu says they were replaced with cotton bags. Okay, so probably a lot of our countries are having the same debate, mostly in supermarkets. Should we ban them or not? Okay, in some places you have to pay. So what do you think? Is it a good idea? Do you think it should be banned? And if so, why? And if not, why? Lots of people say yes. Why is that? Okay, to save the planet, that's good. It'll reduce the use of plastics, yes. Good, but we need alternatives, yeah. Good, it won't be dangerous to animals, all right. Okay, and there's some alternative views coming out saying, well, it's sometimes not affordable, the other options, so that's something to keep in mind. Good, Manoj says there are alternatives like jute and cotton. Okay, so this is getting towards our task, but we won't see it yet. Let's look at vocab. I've taken some vocabulary from today's sample essay and then just put it on the screen for you. I'm going to read through the vocab, so if you don't want to listen, just put me on mute for a second. Otherwise, read along with me. So we'll start with the verbs. Let's do it together. First one, curb, discard, prohibit, ought to, tangle, ingest, be awash with, landfill, threat, waste, culprit, single-use plastics, raise awareness, spark action, disposable coffee cups, have far-reaching consequences, adopt a policy, knock-on effect, a ban on. Okay, any questions before we move on? Any definitions or examples needed? Just type into the chat box. You're good, Istiak. Simon says, what is spark action? To spark action. Good. Can anyone explain that? So in this case, spark is a verb. So think of it like starting a fire. Very good. It means initiate action or start action. So there may have been some tragedy, sparked action, caused action. Be awash with, this means full of, like at the moment, the media is awash with COVID news, full of that. And curb, what's this? I know lots of you know this one. I'm trying to curb my sugar intake. Curb my sugar intake. Yeah, reduce, cut down, limit, decrease. Very good. Just missed one. Knock-on effect, in what context? So this is like a secondary effect. It's used quite widely to answer your question. Let's say, for example, the virus has had many knock-on effects in many industries. So it caused many things to happen in many fields. Hi, Prabha. How to use awash with. Like I said, the media is awash with news about COVID. Or actually today, the news is awash with stories about the US election. Yeah, like full of. All right, any other words? Oh, culprit, sorry, one more. What's this, culprit? For example, many whales are dying and plastic is the culprit. Many whales are dying and plastic is the culprit. Yeah, very good. The person or the thing which is guilty. The bad guy, very good. Yeah, the bad guy. That's a good way to remember it, the culprit. All right, very quick quiz. Here we go. So on your screen, we've got the 5 sentence beginnings, and on the right, the 5 sentence endings. I'm going to close the chat box so that you can concentrate. Match just the number, like 1 modern throwaway culture has far-reaching A, B, C, D, or E. So type into the chat box, 40 seconds, go for it. All right, how did we go there? I think you all did really well. 1C, modern throwaway culture has far-reaching consequences for the environment. So big impact, far-reaching consequences, nice collocation to use. 2E, the benefits of a ban on plastic bags far outweigh the problems. The benefits of a ban on 3A, banning bags can help to curb the amount of waste ending up in landfill, reduce. 4D, such a policy may spark action regarding other problematic products. Spark action, cause something to happen. 5B, plastic poses a major threat and bags are the main culprits. How did we go? 5 out of 5? There we go. Chat box open, well done. So try to remember those collocations together, and you can review this class in the recorded class library. If you're a free member, maybe grab a screenshot because we won't see the same screen again. But things like far-reaching consequences, a ban on something, you should try to remember them as one unit and recycle them in your own writing. Let's get to today's task. You've probably already guessed it. All about banning plastic bags. So in the real test, these are our instructions. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Give reasons for your answer, include relevant examples from your knowledge or experience, write 250 words. This is the important part, of course. In many countries, plastic bags are the main source of rubbish, causing pollution in oceans and on land. Therefore, they should be banned. Plastic bags should be banned. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? Okay, so we've got a fairly simple question here. To what extent do we agree or disagree that plastic bags should be banned? Okay, so this is what we have to write about on this particular day. How are we going to do it? Let's start with our essay structure before we start planning. Now, lots of you here are regulars. What would you do? So if you were in the test, you got that question, how would you structure your essay? How many body paragraphs? What kind of paragraphs? Single ideas or double ideas? Okay, most people saying 4. Okay, maybe 5, yeah. And some saying double idea paragraphs, others saying single idea paragraphs, both completely fine. There is no exact structure for every essay. You have to write how you feel based on that question, based on your response. Okay, that looks good. So this is what I'm going to do. Of course, we all need an introduction, and in our course, we teach a 3-sentence introduction. I know some of you struggle with that first sentence, the background statements. Completely fine to skip that if you want. You can always come back and write it at the end, but you definitely need at least 2 sentences in your intro. But I'm going to do 3 sentences. Body 1, I'm going to do the first reason for my opinion. Body 2 is the second reason for my opinion. And then I'll finish with a conclusion. Again, at least 2 sentences for your conclusion as well. Okay, now this is a good guide. It's a very simple structure. I'm going to take a very strong position here and completely agree that plastic bags should be banned. And I'm going to say one reason and the second reason. Okay, so but be flexible as always. Oh, that should say body 2, of course. Body 1 and body 2. As long as you know how to write an intro, a conclusion, a single idea paragraph, and a double idea paragraph, you can answer any question, any essay question. Okay, I'm going to use single idea paragraphs. And this is what my single idea paragraph plan, an acronym, looks like. We use the word PEEL, P-E-E-L, E-E-E-L, 3. And that stands for point. What's my main point? Explain why do I think that? Give an example. Think about the impact of that example or the impact of that explanation. And then link, just come back to the essay question or link forward to the next paragraph. So you're kind of just finishing off your paragraph with that final sentence and making sure that you are still on topic, you haven't drifted away. Same with essay structure. Paragraph structure, you can be a little flexible. So you might go from your main point straight to your example and then to an explanation. You may miss an effect and go to the link. So it is quite flexible, but this is a really good way to plan your paragraphs. Okay, and I'm going to have another single idea paragraph here. So let's plan. I'll put the topic back up here, and I'm going to start by showing you my plan and how I think about these topics. Okay, so in many countries, plastic bags are the main source of rubbish. They cause pollution in oceans and land. Therefore, they should be banned. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? I'm going to say I 100% agree. Okay, and the first reason they should be banned because plastic bags are causing environmental crises, plural, many environmental crises. Why or how? They're not biodegradable, and so they go to waterways, they go to landfill because they don't break down. I'm going to give a fairly specific example about certain animals that are dying because of plastic bags. And I'm going to sort of put these together. So therefore, banning plastic bags is a good idea. It's a fairly simple idea, but I've got to develop it thoroughly. Okay, so they should be banned because they are really damaging to the environment. How and why, with an example, the impact, and closing sentence. Second one, I need a completely different reason. Can anyone think of another reason? Why should plastic bags be banned? What's another strong reason? Beautiful, Momo, that's a good sentence there. Okay, littering, very good. Air pollution, okay. So I'm still talking about pollution here. Yeah, so some of you might want to split it up, land and water. That's a good idea. All right, and some of you said litter, so it can keep our environment clean without plastic bags. I've got a slightly different idea. So I'm going to say the second one is that banning plastic bags would raise people's awareness. Okay, and then to explain with an example, Woolworths, that's an Australian supermarket, they banned plastic bags. And as a result, customers like me thought more about the other plastic that we use. And the effect of that, this plastic bag ban sparked action, created action on other things like plastic straws and coffee cups. So suddenly everybody was talking about reducing plastic waste. So this one action had a really powerful knock-on effect. Okay, so the link back to the topic, banning plastic bags is a good idea because it can have a positive knock-on effect. Okay, so those are my two paragraphs, two totally separate ideas. And it's over to you. So I want you to go through the same just thought process. Think to yourself, always start with the question, why? Why should they be banned? Or if you have the opposite view, why should they not be banned? And then tell me more, explain to me how, why, give me a specific example, tell me about the impact, the effect, link back to the topic. So 3 minutes, let's just do this in 2 minutes though, so that we can get through everything today. You can type your ideas into the chat box. If you're not sure how to begin, just watch the chat box and steal ideas from there. Here we go. Okay, beautiful job. I just wrote in the chat box really great ideas coming through. Things like health, soil damage. Excellent. Just for every idea that you come up with, try to be specific with an example to support it as well. Yeah, excellent job. Well done, guys. So let's get on to our intro. And we're also going to start looking at the grammar now. Remember, I said we're going to work on articles today. So in this introduction, I want you to add the articles to my intro. Now, articles are and, the, or nothing. So we consider the nothing to be a zero article. So here comes my intro. I'll just read the first little bit. Plastic pollution is becoming one of greatest threats to our environment, particularly oceans, and plastic bags are main culprits. Okay, so I just want you to put in the articles if you think they belong there, or just a dash if nothing. I'll give you 2 minutes. If you're a fast typer, try to type the whole thing into the chat box. If not, just write one and then the word. Okay, guys, thank you. Time's just about up. Well done. And YouTube, I'm going to come answer a couple of your questions in a moment. Looking pretty good. There's a little bit of disagreement. Oops, excuse me. Loud noise. Let me put the answers up and we can argue about it for a little bit. First one, you don't need anything. Plastic pollution. This is just pollution in general. Is becoming one of the greatest threats to our environment, particularly the oceans. Number 3, if you have nothing there, it's also okay. So the or nothing, okay? And plastic bags are the main culprits. Some have therefore suggested banning the use of these bags. This essay will discuss why I completely agree that a ban is the best way to curb the amount of plastic being discarded. How do we go? All right. Very good. That's looking pretty good, 8s and 9s. So let's just use this to talk about articles, a couple of rules regarding articles. Now, having marked a lot of IELTS writing and been an examiner, I can tell you articles are a huge problem in English for everybody, even the most advanced communicators, because there are so many rules and there are so many exceptions to the rules. But today we're going to focus on 4 really important rules and 4 rules that many people make mistakes with. Okay, so firstly, what's your feeling about articles? How confident are you? 0 or 5, legendary? All right, 3s and 4s mainly. Let's see if we can lift that up a bit. Okay, let's do it. So coming up, we've got 3 activities, 26 points. If you can keep track of your score, that will let you know that you need to work on articles more or you're perfectly fine. Let's see. Okay, so to master articles, the first thing is that you need to know which nouns are countable and which are uncountable. Okay, so everybody knows what I mean by a countable noun, uncountable noun. Like this, pen, countable or uncountable? Countable, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Me, person, countable or uncountable? Person, countable, yeah, 1 person, 2 people. What's an example of an uncountable noun? Beautiful. Advice, luggage, information. Oh, well done. We studied this fairly recently in our grammar class, so it's good to see. Research, well done. Okay, so let's do this really quickly. I'll show you 12 words. All you need to do is organize into countable or uncountable. Super easy, 60 seconds, chat box closed for concentration here on Zoom. So 1 goes into B and so on. And let's have a look. Keep track of your scores as we go. There's research, money, uncountable, water, uncountable, 1 child, many children, an amount, many amounts, an ocean, several oceans. Okay. Yeah, this is a weird one, but it is countable. Amounts with an S, you can say. Yes. Furniture is uncountable. Yeah. So you can count tables and chairs, but you can't say one furniture, two furnitures. No. And person is countable. One person, two people. Yeah. So you can't say one people, that's right, but you can say one person. Same with child, singular, one child, and plural, of course, two children, three children. Okay, so countable doesn't mean just S. It means you can count it. One child, two children. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about articles. So these are the countable columns, singular and plural. When it comes to articles, with a singular noun, we can use are, an, or the. And in fact, we have to use and the, or we need a word like my, your, their. So this one, pen, I cannot say I have pen. I have to put an article or something before it. I have a pen. If it's plural, I have pens or I have the pens. That's plural. Okay, so singular, are, and the. And with plural, you can say the people or just people, depending if you are talking specifically or in general. So for instance, I love children. That's just in general. I love children. Let me open the chat box. Sorry, chat box open now. If I want to talk about specific children, I'll use the article. I really like the children who live next door. I really like the children who live next door, specific children. Okay. For uncountable nouns, we cannot use are or an. So I cannot say an information. I cannot say research, but we can say the information, the research, or nothing, information, research. Someone says, how is threat countable? There are many threats to animals, many threats. That's why. It's like, it means danger. Okay, so these are the very, very basic rules. You can use are and the with singular countable nouns. You can use the or nothing with countable nouns, and with uncountable nouns, the same, the or nothing. Okay. Give yourself a score. I think we already did that. I did few research. No, because it's uncountable. Okay, let's keep going. I'll answer these questions at the end. Sorry, I'm moving a bit quickly. And I'm also going to share a video with you guys here on Zoom as well. Okay, here are 5 sentences. Your job is to choose are, and, the, or nothing. No article. And in one sentence, both options are correct. So first one is, where is a coffee cup I gave you, or where is the coffee cup I gave you? You decide. I'll close the chat box again. 45 seconds. Have a guess if you're not sure. And the answer is, where is the coffee cup I gave you? Number 2, this is the one where both are okay. He threw out bags of rubbish, or he threw out the bags of rubbish, both fine. Plastic bags are one of the biggest problems facing the environment. People agree that pollution is a serious issue and we need to reduce the amount of rubbish we produce. Give yourself a score. And then we're going to look at why. All right, beautifully done. So why are these answers correct? In some cases, it may just feel right. Okay, but there are reasons why these articles are correct or incorrect. And there are, as I said, many rules for articles, more than 80 or more than 80 uses. We're going to look at 4, okay? And I'll just talk through each one briefly with an explanation, an example. First rule, rule A, singular countable nouns need an article or a word like my, this, another, that. So this is the pen example. You can never say, I have pen. You must have something before it. I have a pen. I have the pen which my friend gave me. This pen is really useful. Okay, so before a singular countable noun, you need something. Okay? And this is one of the most common errors that I see in IELTS writing, where people don't put the article before a singular noun. Second rule, rule B, when you're talking specifically about a singular or a plural or uncountable stuff, use the. Okay, so the problem that I mentioned earlier is really serious, specific problem. The air in this room is quite warm, specific air. Okay, specific things, use the. Rule C, this is an easy one, with superlatives, use the. What is a superlative? Chat box open, whoops. Yeah, biggest, tallest, largest, very good. Jeet says, why can't I say a research was conducted? Because you can't. It's the rule, it's uncountable. Research was conducted, that's okay. Yeah, all right, so with superlatives, the best, the biggest, the most expensive, the most intelligent, the most difficult. And rule D, non-specific, uncountable or plural things or ideas, no article. For example, I saw dogs at the park, just in general. I saw dogs at the park. I drank water before. So just in general, but when you're talking specifically, that's rule B, use the. Hasna says, can we use words like many or some with uncountable nouns? Yeah, Hasna, you can use some, but you cannot use many. So some air, some water, yes, but many air, many water, no. Sarath, when we use the word main, we need the, yeah, most of the time, yes, the main. Very good. Rule D, explain again. This is when you are talking about something in general. For example, I like cookies. Not specific cookies. I'd like all cookies. I like cookies. We need air to survive. So I'm talking in general. I don't need the in that case. But I love the cookies my mother makes, specific cookies. Before majority, yes, Anjana, you should put the majority. Okay. Now we're going to match the article to the rules. The same sentences as before. I just want you to firstly have a look here. These are our 4 rules, 4 of many. In this first one, number 1, where is the coffee cup I gave you? Why is this article here? Is it rule A or rule B or C or rule D? Where is the coffee cup I gave you? This is a relative clause. Many of you would recognize it. That's good. I'm going to skip the clock here, but you're right. It's because of rule B. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, second one, he threw out bags of rubbish and he threw out the bags of rubbish. Both of these are fine. Which rules? So with nothing, what rule is that? And with the, what rule is it? They're both fine. They just have slightly different meaning. Yeah, well done, guys. So rule B, if you're talking about specific bags of rubbish, the bags of rubbish, maybe you're talking in general, he threw out bags of rubbish. Depending on the context, both of them are correct. All right. Have a look at sentence 3, 4, and 5. I'll just pause for about 20 seconds while you think of the rule. So tell me 3, which rule does it relate to? Just give you a moment to think. Sorry, guys, wrong screen there. Okay, let's check. So for number 3, plastic bags are one of the biggest. That's rule C. And environment, we're talking about a specific thing. And in fact, this word environment, similar to internet, we almost always use the environment, the internet, the moon. Yeah, well done. Number 4, people agree that pollution is a serious issue. Pollution, rule D, just in general, not specific. And this one, issue is a singular countable noun. It has to have an article before it. Okay. And last one, we need to reduce the amount of rubbish that we produce or which we produce. This is rule B, a specific amount. Okay, quick score for that. At the end of this class, I'm going to share a link with you. Those of you here on Zoom, if you're a paid member on E2, we have in the recorded class section a grammar for IELTS clinic all about articles, a 1-hour class. And I'm going to share with you another class as well related to articles that will be useful. Okay, so you should have a total score if you were keeping track, or you should have a feeling like, I got it, it's no problem, or maybe I need to work on my articles a little bit. Okay. And then also give yourself a score, how you're feeling now. Good job. A lot of you over 20. That's great. Oh, 26. Well done. You can teach the next class, I think. Okay. Well, we'll do some more practice shortly. So when you log in at e2language.com, go into the recorded class library. There is a lesson in there all about articles. There's also punctuation, prepositions, 8 different grammar classes. And coming up this week, we're starting the grammar classes again. So from tomorrow, you can join them live and practice and get some feedback. It's going to be really useful. Back to our task. Remember, we're writing an essay. Let's have another quick look at the intro. This was my one. Plastic pollution is becoming one of the greatest threats to the environment, particularly the oceans. Plastic bags are the main culprits. Some have therefore suggested banning the use of these bags. This essay will discuss why I completely agree that a ban is the best way to curb the amount of plastic being discarded. Background statement, specific statement, and then I'm telling you what's coming up, plus my opinion. I want you to do the same thing. I'll give you 5 minutes. I just want you to write your best introduction. I'm going to leave the chat box open. Yes, I'll share the full sample essay at the end, so in about 15 minutes. Okay, but for now, write an introduction and think carefully about your articles. Do you need them or not? Here we go. That is our time. I'm so happy looking at this chat box here on Zoom. You are doing a beautiful job. I've made a couple of corrections. Hopefully you caught them in the chat box. Just a few articles missing and a couple of singular plural issues, but otherwise it looks fantastic. And I can see really great coherence and cohesion, use of reference words, not too much repetition of the word plastic. So well done. Feeling good. Now, body one. I'm going to show you my example and then give you a chance to write one. Okay, topic sentence, main point. The main reason why plastic bags ought to be removed from the market is that they are causing environmental crises. This is plural here. So that's why there's no article. Main reason, environment. Okay, then I need to explain to the reader how, or why, how are they causing an environmental crisis? Around 4 trillion are used annually. And since they are not biodegradable, most end up in landfill or in waterways. Notice in this sentence, I haven't used the word plastic or bags, but I've used reference words. Around 4 trillion are used, 4 trillion bags. And since they are not biodegradable, most of them end up in landfill or waterways. Very nice coherence and cohesion. So then an example, I'm going to try to be specific here and paint a picture. I want my reader to agree with me and to understand what I'm talking about, to see what I want them to see. Okay, so there, meaning in waterways, whales, dolphins, and other marine life can become tangled, trapped in the plastic waste, or die from ingesting kilos of discarded shopping bags. So see that really specific, detailed example there? You can imagine that, you can see that. That's a powerful example. It's much better than studies show 5% of whales die from plastic. This is a better support to that point. Okay. It also covers the effect, like what's happening because of this impact, what's happening because of plastic in the environment. So animals are dying. Link, I'm going to just return, make sure I'm still talking about the right topic here. Or you might start to introduce the next paragraph. Okay. While these bags are not the only plastic being thrown away carelessly, they certainly make up a large proportion, and therefore banning them would be a step in the right direction. So I've just returned to my point here. That is not just are they bad, but we need to ban them. So that's what the question is. So see in this sentence, that's what my link is. I'm just returning, making sure that I'm still on topic and that the examiner doesn't think I've drifted off to irrelevance. Okay. This is a single idea paragraph. There's plenty of work on that inside your course in the how to write body paragraphs section. Okay, but I'm going to throw over to you 7 minutes. Let's go for a little bit less than that, maybe 5 minutes. If you're new, don't worry, just do your best. I'm going to close the chat box for this one, but I'm still watching. Okay, so if you need help, put it in the chat box. I'll help you there. Otherwise, start writing. This is your final bit of writing today. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm just going to paste into the chat box an example from Lucy. I hope you don't mind. This was a really nice example paragraph. So for everybody else, where did it go? Okay, great. Did that paste? Oh, yes. I think I missed the first word. It should be a ban on plastic bags would be a positive step towards a cleaner environment, and so on. So did everybody catch that? Grab it, put it in a document and read it afterwards. Really good job, Lucy. Thank you for sharing that. And everybody else, good job. I've sent a few comments through. Let's go quickly because we are almost at the end. Body 2, we're not going to write it, but I want you to look at my sample, and it's in the wrong order. So your job is to find the topic sentence and put the rest of it in order, okay? So we've got A, B, C, and D. This is not the first sentence. Clearly, if stores take a strong position and prohibit single-use plastics, the knock-on effect can be powerful. That's not the topic sentence. So I need to take 90 seconds and have a look through here. What is sentence 1, the main point? Where's the explanation? Where's the example, the effect? Have a go. I'll paste again here. There's the sample again for those asking. This is the correct order. It goes C, B, D, A. A second reason is that banning plastic bags raises awareness about single-use plastics and consumption in general. Topic sentence, so main reason, second reason. Then I go straight to my example. When Woolworths supermarkets, for instance, implemented a ban at the checkout this year, many people were forced to reconsider other conveniences and bad habits they had maintained for decades. Subsequently, the bag ban also sparked action. So the bag ban from Woolworths, see that connection, sparked action regarding the use of plastic straws, disposable coffee cups, and packaging in general, all of which contribute to environmental contamination. Clearly, if stores take a strong position and prohibit single-use single-use bags, the knock-on effect can be powerful. All right. Yes. So I mentioned before flexibility with your paragraph. So I always plan with my PEEL, but sometimes when I'm writing, I don't cover all of them. That's fine. It's still, I think it's still a fully developed idea. It's well supported. The example is powerful. I think the reader has no trouble following my logic. Okay, so I know it doesn't exactly do that order, but that's okay. That's okay. Flexibility is all right. So for you guys, your body 2 and also your conclusion, I want you to write after class, please. Let's just finish up with a really quick vocab review from what we've seen today. And I would recommend doing this again tomorrow, maybe next week as well. This vocab, you've got to keep it fresh in your mind. It's probably not something you talk about every day in English, but as you're getting ready for IELTS, you've got to have this vocab available, ready, easy to access in your speaking and in your writing. Final quick check of the vocab here. I think it's all pretty familiar. Perhaps let's skip through this. Complete essay is coming up in about 5 seconds. Okay, but let's do this first. I want you to tell me which word or phrase from the previous page means throw away or reject, reduce, limit, serious long-term impacts, the cause of a problem. I'm going to give you a hint. And also from last week, can you remember the meaning of these words as well for extra points? I'll give you 30 seconds. I'm going to close the chat box. All right, just do your best. Have a guess if you can't remember. And correct answer is discard, curb, far-reaching consequences, culprit, well done, those who remembered it, ingest, and from last week, famine, starvation or extreme hunger, dire, remember dire situation, dire consequences, and crop yield, crop yields. That was last Tuesday's class there. All right. I just want to mention time management before we wrap it up here. I've just called it method, but what I'm talking about here is timing. When you're doing the real test, this is what we would recommend in terms of task 2. So take a minute to read the task really carefully. Often there's quite a lot of elements in that topic. You don't want to miss anything. Then plan for about 3 minutes. Go through that mental process of asking yourself why, how, what's an example? What's the impact? Give yourself 32 minutes to write. And really important is 4 minutes to edit at the end. Check especially for article errors, singular, plural errors, countable, uncountable. And here is the full essay. So grab a screenshot of this because you won't find it on the website, just here. So take a photo, grab a screenshot. All got it? Okay. And you can read through that whole thing later. I think it's a good idea to rewrite it as well, just to absorb the vocab and the structures. Now, a bit more practice for you. You can write a full task in our Thursday and Sunday classes because they go for an hour and a half. You can review the live classes here in the recorded class library. For those of you watching on YouTube, sorry, I haven't visited very much, but next time you can join me on Zoom, just go to e2language.com and sign up for free. Some classes are free each week like this one. While you're there, you can use the self-study material. So in your course, look for the body paragraphs, look for the opinion essay. We have a brand new methods video in there. And also remember to submit your work for assessment. I'll just show you really quickly what you will get. So this is the kind of feedback that we will give you. In addition to the scores, or we give you criteria scores for all 4 things. Comments and corrections from your teacher sit in here. Your original task sits here. You have a place to rewrite and you can share that with your tutor if you take a tutorial. And then we give you lots and lots of feedback about all aspects of your task. So task response, we give you a score for how well you addressed the prompt. Was your position, your opinion clear? Were your ideas relevant? Did you develop those ideas? You'll notice you get a score from very high to low. And if it's medium or low, we give you action, something to do. So sometimes advice, sometimes videos, particularly down in the grammar section. When you have issues like here with articles, we'll share some resources with you to help fix that up. Okay, so make sure you submit your work for assessment. That will really help you to make progress and pass your tests on the first time. And that is the end of our class. So YouTubers, thank you for coming along. Come to e2language.com if you want to chat with me or the other teachers. And you can join these classes for free. Every Monday we have free classes and usually once or twice during the week again. But we have live classes every single day for our paid members, and you're welcome to join them, of course. And paid members also have access to the recorded classes, including the grammar sessions. I'm just going to stop the YouTube stream. Thank you for coming. I'll see you on